So, we're on. So this is another INSP.EAT. I'm super excited to sit here now with two amazing artists. We're in Bushwick, in basically the capital of street art, right? And next to me I have two great artists, which is Werc and Geraluz. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
We're having some excellent Mexican food in a little bit, right? And it's a funny story how I got to know got to know you. It was basically we were in a street art tour in Lima where I saw your work, and now thanks to our common friend we got to meet each other. So my first question, I visited your studio. So you create together, you basically live there. Is there even a time when you're not working?
That's such a good question.
There is. I mean, there is. You know,
we force it. We make time to not work. Actually, we just did that because 2017 was booked and we worked all year without a single break. And I think 2018 began and work was like, we cannot begin another year without taking a break.
Yeah, 2017 was super, just too much, you know, too much work, and I needed a vacation, you know. I was like, wow, it's like a little too much of that. So, you know, just trying to find some balance, and, you know, we both have our own ways of having some balance, having some time for ourselves and then for each other, and then for our practice, you know.
So what is your when you want to get out of the everyday hustle and bustle? You know, like what is Werc and GERALUZ doing?
Well, I feel like getting away from, because you just said Bushwick, street art capital of the world. So true. I mean, we can't even go to the grocery store without feeling like pressure to paint another wall. You know, it's like there's walls all over. Everybody wants to paint, and when you're a street artist, it's like you put the pressure on yourself and you feel it from others. You know, so you literally have to leave this place. So we went to Tulum, to the Mayan Riviera to get away early in, I think, January, right? We went?
Yeah, we do. So we go out of town, whether it's like somewhere out of the country or somewhere to nature, or we spend time with family, you know, something that's a little more just relaxing and more personal, you know.
Away from the town.
Yeah, away from here.
And it's very interesting that you guys are a couple and you work together, and it's on the projects. But I asked you the question before. What do you prefer, working collectively or rather on your own?
Well, I feel like my studio work definitely doesn't involve work. It's very feminist, you know, artist books, performance video, photo, documentation. So I love his help, but I don't want him to get any credit for it. You know, like,
Sure.
Can you take a picture, but you're not gonna get it. Like, it's my work, you know. And I feel like Werc has a similar practice where it doesn't involve me to get in his canvases, you know, and his own trip that whatever he's going through as an artist, and his evolution is personal. My evolution is personal. But we also have a practice where we paint together in the street, and it's fun, you know. It's fun to paint with your friends. So can you imagine painting with your partner in life too? So it could be, obviously, you could have some different types of experiences, but at the end of the day, how can it not be fun to travel together with someone and paint, you know?
Of course.
Yeah, you know, I think it's both, you know, a little bit of doing things on your own and doing things together. I think it's really cool to be able to do that.
Like a mixture.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, I'm really interested in you're an artist, full-time artist, right? And how much time of actual creating or painting is artists doing? You know, like all the other stuff around, or the talking to clients, talking to galleries, whatever. What's the percentage?
That's a good question. I think it varies throughout the year, but really it's gotta be somewhere maybe like a 30-40%, maybe 50% of the time, you know, is spent on other things, you know. And so it's like, you know, there's a lot of planning, a lot of negotiation, a lot of research, a lot of other things that happen before you get to the painting part, you know. And so, you know, there's a lot of development and meetings
I
and
agree,
stuff.
totally.
So really painting is like the best part in a way, like creating is the best part, but really there's a lot that happens that you have to deal with to be able to get to that part, you know.
Okay.
So if you think about like public art, maybe not street art, but projects that are a little more serious.
How are you? I have huevos con chorizo.
Right here.
Here.
Thank you.
I have huevos rancheros.
Para mí. Gracias.
Gracias.
So when you think about those projects, there's such different phases that are long. Just the research alone is like could take a month, 3 months, depending on how big your project is, how much time they want you to spend on it, how much you want to spend on it. Then there's the design phase, which you should definitely give yourself another month or 3, depending on how big the project again. Then there's like, okay, now it's time to get all the materials, which is on a whole other, you know. We're constantly considering whenever there's a big project, we're like, we need a staff, you know, like this is not my job. It's so not creative to have to call lift companies and order the paints, you know, it's not a very creative job, but it's part of it too. So to answer your question, definitely I agree that, you know, no more than 50%, and it's way, I was even gonna say 20 to 40. That was my answer in the beginning because that's the reality, you know. And I feel like the conversation between a lot of artists is, you know, well, there is work that you love to do, and then there's work that you live from, you know, and it's necessary. Yeah. And I feel grateful, you know, I feel very grateful, you know, every day when I get up, I'm like, thank the goddess that I do what I want. It doesn't matter that it's not like, you know, feminist work per se, but it's still creative. I'm still using my creative, you know, genius, or my inner child's happy.
Sure.
It gets to design. My spirit's happy. It gets to read. My mind is happy. I get to explore new ideas, and I get to learn so much for every community that we painted. I feel like we know about that community, and then we take that with us, and we have that knowledge, you know. And so it's bigger, you know. It's like so much more than making art to be an artist, for sure.
Nice. And you basically turned to public art or street art from a conceptual artist, which you still are. But which role is closer to you?
Which one?
Which role? Which?
I feel I'm way more comfortable in my public art shoes. Yeah. And my dream would be to bridge it somehow with my conceptual artwork. And I feel like that's part of still growing. You know, I'm still evolving, and you know, you're never done. And hopefully one day I can do that.
And how does it feel, you know, like when I was waiting for you here, there were like 5 people across the street taking pictures, like really like paparazzis of your street art that is on this building. How does it feel, you know, to have such an impact like this in the public spaces, to see people talk about your art, taking pictures of it, you know?
I think it's great. I mean, that's the purpose of public art. So, you know, it's like for people to enjoy it, you know, to create a conversation, you know, to create a change in the space, really, you know. I see it kind of like acupuncture within the skin, you know, the fabric of a city, you know. So when you intervene a space, you really, you know, have the ability to kind of heal that space and, you know, change it for the better, you know. So I think that when people react to it positively, I think, you know, you did what you came there to do, you know.
And do you have like something like an ultimate goal as an artist? Is there something?
I feel like I just said mine. Yeah, to be able to merge, you know, my conceptual artwork with my public artwork.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's an ultimate goal, but certainly I think it's to be able to communicate with, you know, with as many people as you can around the world, and try to reach people in a heartfelt, genuine kind of way.
That's such a better answer, Amor. Mine was so selfish. You're right. Oh my God, I feel bad.
You guys live in Bushwick, as we said, but you're from Peru, from Amazon, you're from Mexico originally, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could see so much influence in your in your work, you know, like probably from the places where you come from. What inspires you actually? Where does the inspiration come from?
Well, I personally feel that I have this connection to the Amazon, and the Amazon is the lungs of Mother Earth. So more and more, I feel like I'm an agent for Mother Earth. My mom is a doctor of natural medicine. My grandmother has got this amazing green thumb. She's got this connection with plants and growing. She gives us the berries she grows. You know, she gives us the stuff she grows. So there's this connection to the land that I feel like it has either been through DNA or through a spiritual upbringing or to just our connection to the jungle. But yeah, I definitely feel this connection to be an agent, a spokesperson for the earth.
Okay.
I think inspiration for me comes from all sorts of places, you know. I mean, from the pre-Columbian cultures, I'm definitely inspired by that, you know, and the knowledge that came from our ancestors. You know, to the struggles that we've gone through with colonization, but even on everyday things, you know, the things we do at home, you know, when we make food, or, you know, I'm obviously inspired by Jera and my friends, and
I was not number one on that list. I think I should have counted.
And other artists that, you know, around the world, you know, that are making art, whether, you know, it's, you know, public art, street art, or even other types of art, you know. I'm just kind of really inspired by a lot of different things.
Okay, so my question goes, if you could choose any artist, dead or alive, to be him or herself for 24 hours, who would it be?
I think it would be Oliver Oluton for me.
Would you like to come back then to be Jera again?
No. I'm cool with this life. I'm always grateful. I'm never regretful. I don't ever think that, or I should have, would have, nothing. I live what I want to live. Nice. You know.
Maybe Da Vinci. I think that would be a good.
Whoa! Go big or go home,
yeah,
babe.
I know.
That would be a strange experience. That would be cool.
Digging up bodies, though?
Yeah, you know, going through whatever, like, that seems like a real interesting character.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's
the dark ages.
Seeing your art, you know, and you keep finishing your art. He never, like, he almost finished nothing, you know. Like, it was part of his kind of being an artist for him was to start working on something.
He's the one that said an artist never finishes an artwork, he abandons it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it might be a really interesting era, I guess. Cool.
I can't believe you chose that.
Is there any book or movie that really inspired you? You know, like significantly, you know?
Baccarat.
What's that?
Baccarat.
Okay.
Have you ever seen?
Not really.
It's like a stream of consciousness.
Okay.
It definitely inspired me to make video art, and it inspired me to see the beauty in like all the different types of cultures, and it's kind of like a moment of meditation, but many moments of meditation stitched together through imagery of the earth, you know, of peoples of the earth. It's just very self-reflective of like the beauty that we have here on earth. Yeah, I love that movie. The Matrix.
How about you? By the way, the food is amazing.
Right? I feel so
choice.
bad she couldn't be here.
Well, what's the question again, just to make sure?
Is there a movie or a book that really kind of significantly changed your way of thinking or impacted you?
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, there's...
Or a drug, I don't know, you know?
Oh, that's a better question.
Yeah, well, I think there's a whole bunch, you know, whether it's movies, books, or drugs, but...
That should be the title of this interview.
Yeah.
Movies, books, and drugs.
But, I don't know. You know, I think one that kind of maybe stands out, the films by Jodorowsky, I think are really
Oh my God,
cool.
yes.
And they didn't really like change me or anything, but I really enjoyed how, you know, how different in his use of the archetypes of symbols, and you know, that bridging between like a mainstream film and then, you know, something that's between like art and then mainstream. It's like kind of in between, really, you know, because it's not really abstract, but I really,
conceptual,
yeah,
for sure.
I really enjoy those, you know, those films that he's made.
If I ask you about your secret weapon, is there something that you consider your secret weapon in your life as an artist?
I think for me, my secret weapon, I couldn't be able to tell you what my secret weapon is. Not because I don't want to, but because, like...
It would defeat the purpose
like,
of it being a secret.
Well, yeah, obviously, but at the same time, I think, you know, it's that connection, you know, that connection to the zeitgeist, to higher consciousness. And I couldn't tell you, you know, how that is or, you know, how it comes about. You know, it's just something that I think that, you know, artists are in tune with. And
yeah, I think like artists are the antenna of the population, you know? They're the antenna of the consciousness, like the zeitgeist, like Werc is saying. So if there's one gift that we do have as artists, I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel like a lot of us are very sensitive people. We can tap into that consciousness and bring out things that maybe we're not even comfortable speaking about, or it hasn't even come to a topic of conversation. It's just lingering in this space, in this conscious space that all our thoughts exist in, and we have this gift, you know, to be able to tap in there, bring it back, and even just allowing us to talk about stuff is great, you know.
And now, you know, like back from the art, the beauty of art, back to the real life. What does money mean to you, or as an artist?
Oh, money means a lot of great things. I feel like it means security, it means stability. You know, it's hard to be an artist and believe in yourself, and you know, it's harder for people that don't even have support systems, that don't have other friends believing in them. I mean, little things, you know, help, like your family, your friends that believe in you, because it's hard to do it all on your own. So, yeah, right?
yeah, and I think it creates space, you know, it creates time.
Freedom.
I think you can be free without money, but it certainly gives you the time and space to, you know, to work and develop yourself, you know, in your artwork.
Exactly. So we were talking about, that was like the topic before, how sometimes as an artist you have the art that you love to do that you might not be getting paid for, then you have the art that pays the bills. How beautiful is it to have a job that you love and it pays the bills, and then you even have time to do stuff that nobody's paying for, but because you came into this earth with this urge to create, and you do that, and you know, it's beautiful. I mean, that's the type of freedom that I'm talking about, you know.
And regarding, for example, Brooklyn or Bushwick itself, there is so much competition. I mean,
Oh my
there's
God.
so many artists and
Even artists from, you know, foreigners, they come here, they stay for a while, you know, and they try to leave their footprint.
Yeah.
The pressure is not just local, the pressure is trans-local. You know, it's like an international movement, as you know, street art. So
That was actually my question, you know, is it easier for you to be in this environment, which is basically super competitive, but at the same time you have so many options and so many open-minded people towards art, you know?
You know, that's the beauty about New York. There's space for everybody.
Yeah.
There's so many people looking for so many things, and art is in the eye of the beholder. It's like beauty, you know? To someone, they might love your stuff, and someone else might think it's nothing, and they like something else. And there's all sorts of types of arts and styles and color combinations, you know? There's space for everyone. I don't feel I don't really feel competitive with anyone. If anything, it's more of a pressure to produce and be active, and that has nothing to do with pressure of like comparison. I feel like we all are like flowers, so individual and so unique to their own style. But yeah, I don't ever feel like I think it's cool to be here because there are so many opportunities for everyone to go around.
Yeah, I think also, for me, I feel like the artwork that I make is differentiated enough that, I'm not really in competition with anyone else, know, it's like, and like Jared was saying, there's room for everybody, it's like, there's room for all sorts of styles, and, the more the merrier, that's really what makes this place special.
What's your favorite place on earth?
Right now it's Tulum.
I don't know if I have a favorite place. I've never really been a favorite place type of person because I really kind of enjoy all places. There's things I don't like about certain places, and then there, things that I like. I kind of feel like, from the place that I grew up at to like here, it's like, excuse me, amazing. And then there's some things that are just not cool at all,
Yeah, sure. If you could give yourself an advice, yourself 10 years ago, what would it be?
No, wow, 10 years ago, I said to invest in some stock.
Bitcoin.
No, anything, right?
Facebook.
Something that no one believed in 10 years ago. That's the only type of advice I'd give myself because I feel good about my other decisions,
Amazing.
I'm not sure. I think there's probably a whole book there of like things, I honestly don't know, but definitely,
drink more water.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, this was INSP here in Bushwick with Geraluz and with Werc. Thank you guys so much for finding time in your busy schedule.
Thank you.
And let's finish the
Yes,
huevos.
it's delicious. Huevos rancheros.
That's it.